of Google My Business Problems. My name is Brooke Borup with My Clone Solution, and we are here talking about the question that you guys all are asking on Google, and we want to answer it for you. Today's question is how to use content sprouting method for podcasts and video. And today I have Sherryl Pluff from Sherryl Pluff Media, and she is going to be talking about just that. Sherryl, how do we sprout our information that comes out of podcasts and videos?
Thanks so much, Brooke. Well, when we talk about sprouting, the idea and the concept is how do we make more of the content that we're creating? We're going to talk about podcasts and videos specifically today. I'm going to make the argument, and I may be a little biased, but as a video strategist, but nonetheless, I think that it's important to look at this from the standpoint of where do I start? Do I start with video and then repurpose that to a podcast? Or is it better to start with a podcast and then make a video from that? So let me make the argument that you should start with video. And here's why. If you make a video, and this is what I do every single week, and my core platform is YouTube, I make a video, let's say it's 5 minutes long. I make my video and I publish it to YouTube. What I'm doing then is I'm extracting or exporting the audio only file from that video, and then I'm uploading that to my podcast platform. I use anchor.fm, and that's how I do it. So every week I'm able to leverage my video and turn that also into a podcast. The nice thing is that with the anchor.fm platform, I can augment and I could add episodes that did not derive from video to my podcast. So I can maybe long form interviews and add to it. But the foundation of this repurposing or sprouting method is to take the video, export the audio, bring it into the podcast. If we were to look at it from the other point of view, well, should I start with a podcast and go to video? You could start with a podcast, which is going to give you your audio file and upload that to YouTube. But what are you going to use as the visual element to support someone watching 5 minutes of video? If there isn't any moving pictures, there's no interview, there's no B-roll, there are no other elements, you could put a photo, and that photo could last the entire 5-minute length of the video, but it's going to be kind of boring. Right? You could certainly you can find B-roll and add to it, but it's not going to match the words that are being spoken if it's an interview style video, right? So what I'm suggesting is that when you start with video and you repurpose that to a podcast, it gives you more leverage. It gives you more opportunity to create the more compelling content in this case. It's not wrong. It's not that it's wrong the other way. It's just my belief is that you should start with video. And so from a content sprouting type of perspective, how do we leverage that content? That's what I do every week. It works really well for me. It works well for my clients. And that's how I would approach it.
Thank you, Sherryl. And I completely agree. And I'm going to give you guys another example. So, you see music videos on YouTube, right? And then you have the audio that comes out from, Amazon or whatever. And if you go the other direction in this particular situation, you have a blank screen with essentially like the words. So unless you're karaokeing, that's not really a thing. To kind of give you another example as the audience out there. So if you are trying to figure out, do I do a podcast? Do I do a video podcast? Like, what do I do and how do I do it? If you start with the video and prepare your guests for the video, then you can always do an audio only and have it available on other platforms.
And Brooke, can I say one more thing? I'm not against podcasting. So I actually really believe in that platform and believe in that modality. How I would like to see people using, if they want to do both, is to say, hey, repurpose your videos to a podcast, but augment and add other additional episodes that are unique to the platform, to the podcast platform, that are not found in your video content. That would be one way of approaching it. But I love podcasting. I listen to them. I love them. They're, obviously different, and they're appealing to different types of people and how they behave with content.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and some people, they listen to podcasts in their car. They really probably shouldn't be watching videos in the car.
That's right.
Totally fine. Don't watch videos in the car. Please don't, unless you're a passenger. But all these different ways that we have to reach the masses now in this digital society that we didn't have 5, 10, 20 years ago, it's huge. The small business owner can go as far as a big corporate entity if they choose to. And if they, and we can do that now. TV has come to the small business owner. And that is an amazing deal that we have going on here in this century.
Well, I think businesses now really need to start thinking of themselves as mini media companies. And that might mean delegating to team members or training them or investing in some gear, whatever that looks like. But I think that we need to start really understanding that we're in an era now where thinking of yourself as a mini media company is table stakes as we go forward.
Absolutely. Sherryl, thank you for being on this episode of Google My Business Problems. We look forward to having you back on another episode. And for those of you who have not liked and subscribed yet, please do that so that you can get notified of all of our other Google My Business Problems videos that come out. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.